Hello, Bright Lights. This is Katie Sutton from Zen Within Academy here with your December energy update. In this month's update, I will share with you a little bit more information about the energies that are incoming for the month of December. And this month is a little bit different because I'm also going to give you a preview of some of the changes that are coming in 2020 and some of the energies that are already coming in for especially those of you that are way showers. And some of you are already getting prepared for 2020, so I wanted to give you some insight into that. And just to share with you all, I channel 12th dimensional beings, and what that really means is that these are beings of light that are a part of a unity consciousness. This understanding is of unity consciousness is that they are all one, that they are a group of light being individuals at this high frequency vibration that allows us to fully connect in with Source in a way that is not colored by our individuated experience in the human realm. And so my guides, when they bring the messages through, they're bringing them through from that frequency. And understand that most of us are operating anywhere between 3D and 5D, but we have the ability to access this unity consciousness at any time. So as these transmissions are coming through for each of you, and you're watching this transmission, you are also being activated to the frequencies that are being brought through by the words that I will share with you. So it is wonderful if you can take a moment to just breathe into the body as I move through these updates, because only part of it is really needed to be digested by the mental body. It's really important that you actually feel it in your physical body and allow the frequencies from the transmission to be received in that way. And so the information that I'd like to share from my guides about December, as we move out of November and into December, there are quite a few important energies that are going to be blasting the Earth planet. And one of those energies is the 1212 energy portal, which also so happens to have a full moon on also on 1212 at 12:12 p.m. Eastern. So as you can see, just by looking at the numbers, it's a really important time for us to tune in and receive additional light and additional frequencies and additional transmissions from our guides. And this month, we also have the winter solstice, and we also have a solar eclipse. So we have a beautiful opportunity in the month of December to truly access the higher frequencies and higher lights that are ready to come in to our beings to allow us to be supported in the ascension process. And as I've been working with clients in preparation for the energies of December, I often will receive updates about what's going to happen, and I will start to process that through my body about a month in advance. And so what I've been doing as I've been receiving these energy updates is noticing that a lot of energy is being cleared on the right side of my body. And for those of you that don't know, the right side of the body is associated with the divine masculine. The left side of the body is associated with the divine feminine. And this balancing of the masculine and feminine energies is a big part of my work with individual clients and workshops and retreats, as it is for many healers. And the reason why December is so aligned with the right side of the body and the divine masculine is that as we move into 2020, the focus is shifting away from the divine feminine, which was our primary focus in 2019. Each of us was being asked to learn to trust, learn to be in our intuition, learn to be in the flow, and fully synchronized and in alignment with the universe. And it's not that that energy is going away, it's just that we've moved through that work, especially those of us that are way showers or in kind of the initial awakening phases. And as we have moved through this in 2019, we are now in the December time frame, and this actually began a little bit in November, being cleared of any wounded masculine energies that we may be carrying. And for those of you that are not aware, those wounded masculine energies are typically these feelings of being in effort. They are these feelings of you might have a task and there's just no energy to complete the task, or you feel as you're trying to complete the task that you're pushing a rock up the hill. And that is the wounded masculine energy that might be present in your body. It might be present on the right side of the body in the physical form and in terms of rigidity as well. What we also might notice in the wounded masculine is this sensation of being over busy in order to compensate for our inability to tune in and drop into our own personal experience. And so we are in a culture that uses busy as a moniker to say how valued you are. Many of us have been through so many constructs in corporate environments, in family environments, in other situations in our life where we feel like if we're not busy, we are not productive. And so as we move through the divine feminine, we learn to cultivate the stillness. And some of us are still working on this, myself included. And as we step into the stillness and start to access more of the divine feminine, the divine masculine will also begin to come through, right? The divine masculine is there to support the divine feminine. It is there to create the container or the structure that is needed for us to be in flow. But many of us have a wounded masculine view. And that means that we are conditioned to be in the over busy. We don't know how to be still. We don't know how to drop in and listen to our own internal guidance. And so many of you in December will be getting a in-your-face example of some of these patterns. I know for me personally, I bent 2 rims and 2 tires on the right side of my car in order to clear some of this energy. They actually had to slow me down in my vehicle in order for me to receive the transmission and the message that there was a pattern that needed to shift. And I invite each of you to step into more ease than that and start to tune in to the part of your being that is in over-efforting. And it might be in a particular area of your life. It could be in relationship. It could be at work. It could be in special projects that you're working on. There's a lot of different ways that this can show up. And I believe it's present for each of us in some way because that's the nature of our culture. And so each of us will move through this clearing process in December in a different way, but we do want to invite in more ease, right? As we move into 2020, we will be super supported in our actions and our purpose-driven things that we want to create in the world. But if we haven't let go of the forcing energy, then what we will find in 2020 is that we will be aligned with our purpose-driven work. People will come into our life to support us in that, but then we will force the issue, right? We will force a square peg into a round hole. We will try to make it work rather than being in a place of receiving and allowing the universe to line everything up for us. And so it's just a subtle shift that we will start to notice in December. And I know for my clients that have already started to show up at the end of November, beginning to work on this, again, rigidity in the right side of the body, sacrifice energy in their field, patterns of overgiving to others and going to burnout or going to depletion, big patterns are up to be cleared. And these patterns are the things that are in the way of us being in flow. And so some of you are waking up or will wake up in December and say, oh my gosh, I've had this pattern my whole life and I'm finally done with it, right? So we have this beautiful setup of energy in December that is going to allow us to step into a place of really releasing these deep-rooted patterns that are keeping us in the wounded masculine. And in some cases, keeping us in the wounded feminine as well, because some of us are still working on anchoring the divine feminine energies as we finish up 2019. So again, as we move into 2020, this focus of divine masculine will be here. And for many of us, we've been waiting on this. We've been kind of biding our time, trying to decide when are we going to jump into the work we really want to be doing? When are we going to quit that job? When are we going to leave this relationship that's not working for us. And December is that transition period where you might be getting downloads of information of things that want to change. Some of you might get a little restless in knowing that something needs to change, but not quite knowing how to make the change yet. And my guides would say that we want you to be patient. We want you to step into a place of ease and flow and work that divine feminine energy that allows you to just be in this place of receiving, right? And the answers and the actions that you need to take will come, right? But we have to be patient. So that's the energy that's at play in December. And I'd like for us to just take a breath for a moment and allow the information and the frequencies from this transmission to drop into your body. And this is not a thinking exercise. This is just a place of allowing the energy to flow in through the crown of the head and be deposited in the different energy centers in the body until they make their way all the way down through your being. And understand and trust that whatever it was that you were supposed to receive from this transmission has been received. And for many of you, I am an activator. I am here to activate a knowing that says, oh, divine masculine, I'm ready to work on that. Oh, a pattern, I'm ready to release that. It's not so much the information that you need, it's the activation of the frequency that says, okay, I'm ready to get into this activity, right? This letting go of the wounded masculine. And so just allow that to move through your body. Allow your field to expand and open. And breathe deeply into the heart, right? So your heart is your barometer. If you are feeling contracted in the heart when making a decision, if you are feeling contracted in the heart when you're trying to get a project off the ground, that's your heart's way of telling you to pause. Each of us needs to get more in tune with what our physical body is telling us so that we can better receive the energies and the knowings and the intuitions when they land in the body. And so just allow the breath and the body to open at the heart space. And just drop into this place of ease. And feel your entire being expanding. This is that unity consciousness frequency that my guides bring through, this place of understanding that we are all one, that we are supported, that we are connected. And so allow this frequency to move through your being and find in your being some place where you are in over effort. It might be rigidity in the body, or something or situation might come to mind. And take a deep breath in and allow that breath to pass through the body and just begin to release anything it is that you might be holding on in terms of this efforting. Just allow it to drop from the body to the earth. And just continue to breathe and let go of that over-efforting energy. And this is a beautiful practice to keep in mind in December. When you're feeling rushed with the holiday stress, right? How wonderful that they've given us this very stressful, busy time of year to learn how to not be an over-efforting, right? This is a beautiful challenge that we all have accepted as a collective to do this work in the month of December. But we will be supported in that. And remember that you can always ask for the support of your guides, of your angelic helpers, whatever it is that you believe in. You can tune into that and ask when you feel overwhelmed. Oh, I just want to take a pause. Create some space in my calendar so I can take a pause. And magically that meeting might disappear, right, from your calendar. And so we invite you. We have a beautiful 12/12 energy portal activation taking place on December 11th, ahead of the 12/12 energy portal. And this balancing of the divine masculine energies and releasing the wounded masculine is going to be a big focus, as are other topics. Just preparing you in this beautiful cosmic gateway that's being created for us to really step into 2020 with clarity and expansion and feeling really alive and vital in your being. And so that's the intention of this month's healing circle. It's at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll post the link in the comments so that you can register. We do offer it at a sliding scale because we want everyone to be able to participate in this healing activation. And we also will be recording this activation so that you can come back and use the meditation and the transmission as often as you need, which will continue to support you as we move into 2020. So we hope that you will join us, and if not, we thank you for listening to our transmission today. Have a wonderful December, Bright Lights. It's always a pleasure to be able to share this information with you. Thank you so much.